In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use the website PubMed.gov to locate research articles. To begin with, simply navigate to PubMed.gov, which will take you to the homepage you see here. As you can see, there's a simple search bar, which is what we'll use to begin our search. Let's say we're interested in research on protein supplements. We can simply enter that term here and hit enter. Right off the bat, we see there is an enormous amount of research that PubMed thinks is related to protein supplements. There are over 86,000 results. While there is a lot of research out there, it's very likely that we are pulling in some results that are not relevant to our interests. So right off the bat, we could think about whether there's any way we could narrow our search through our basic terms. Perhaps we're primarily interested in protein supplements in individuals who are performing exercise. We can add that term here, and you can see that dramatically reduces our number of results. A few other items we could use to limit our search are displayed in the left column on this page. This date range is interesting because it can show the increase in number of studies across the years, and you can even expand this if you're interested and see the number of articles increasing over time. This can also be used as a filter. Perhaps we're only interested in more recent research on this topic. So we could select even research in the last 20 years to rule out just older research, or we could refine that even further, say the past 10 years. When I release this, it'll update our results, and you can see there are now about 2,500 results related to protein supplements and exercise. There are some additional filters over here on the left. One important filter is what type of article we're interested in. If we're new to this topic, we might be interested in a review article that could help us get caught up on the topic fairly quickly. If we select review, you can see that there are a little under 400 reviews published between 2012 and 2022 that deal with protein supplements and exercise. Now, something to note here is that these results are currently sorted by best match. I do recommend this as a great option. Occasionally, you might want to use a different option like most recent, but if you're simply trying to find the most relevant research on a given topic, best match is typically your best bet. So you can immediately see here there are several reviews that seem relevant to what we said we were interested in, which is protein supplements and exercise. If we'd like to review one of these records, we can simply click on the title, and it will take us to a page with a little bit of information. First, the journal that the article is published in is specified right up top. You can see this is tagged as a review, which is good. That's what we were looking for. You can see the publication date is 2017. There's a bit more information, including the DOI, or Digital Object Identifier, which is essentially a permanent online record of this work. Of course, the title of the paper, you can see all the authors listed here. These are actually links, so you can click on these authors to find more research from them. You can expand the affiliation, and then in this case, this is an article with many authors, so you can see many academic affiliations being listed. There are a few links here, and then comes the abstract. The abstract is a short summary of the research article that often includes some of the take-home points. This is actually relatively long for an abstract, what is displayed here, but if you read through this, you'll see that it is presenting some of the position stands about nutrient timing from the International Society of Sports Nutrition. So as we look through this, we may even see that some of these recommendations are not specific to protein, but protein is mentioned frequently enough, and this is a popular enough article that this came up relatively highly ranked. In fact, the first result. Now, there are also some full text links here, and you can see this particular article is indicating that you can read for free at a couple different sites. You could click on either of these links and be directed to the full text of this article instead of just the abstract. For now, though, we're going to go back to our search results. Going back to these filters, say in contrast to finding a review article, we may be more interested in original research. This would be research where researchers actually bring people in the case of human research, say give them protein and test some aspect of recovery, body composition, or something of that nature. So we could deselect review, and we could instead select clinical trial. Randomized controlled trial for nutrition research will have a lot of overlap with the clinical trial. You'll see typically a relatively similar number of results if you have one selected versus the other, though clinical trial is a bit broader term. So you can see here when we're looking at a clinical trial, and we also have randomized controlled trial selected, there are about 930 results. So we've reduced this quite a bit. There are a few other items we might want to consider. One down here, there is a species filter. And if you're looking at PubMed and this is not displayed, you can access it by clicking additional filters. But here we can look specifically for research in humans. In this case, that didn't take out many search results because of the fact we've already marked this as a clinical trial and a randomized controlled trial. But now we have research that will be original research. Again, researchers bringing in humans, testing them in the laboratory and reporting the results, as opposed to a review article where the results of prior research are being summarized. However, we may feel that 926 results is still too much. So an option we could look at here is the advanced search option. So we can click the word advanced under the search bar. And here you can actually see a history of our different searches and the number of results. So you can see back to when we had our very large number of results, we had simply searched protein supplements, and we've sort of whittled this down. If you want to see details, you can actually see sort of the formal syntax of how this search was performed. The important thing about the advanced search, or one of the most important aspects, is that you can specify where you want certain terms to be found. If you look at our most recent search, you see these words, all fields, coming up very frequently. So we're essentially, or PubMed is essentially searching for our terms in any fields that they have for that given record. We may want to do something different. One filter I really like is the title and abstract. So there might be certain terms that we are looking for, and these should really be present in the title or the abstract if this is kind of a major topic of that article. So here we could add protein supplement to the title or abstract. We could also, to the title and abstract, add the word exercise. And here in the search, we're saying not only where they need to be found, but we need both of these found. So let's go ahead and search and see how different our number of results are. So you can see here, we're now down to 50 results. So by refining where we want these words to occur, we have now reduced our list pretty dramatically. You can see the results filter by year. This has now been reset. So if we were to say go for the last 10 years again, we're down to 30 results. We can confirm that we're still looking at clinical trials. I'll deselect this. It does not make a difference in this case. And we can see that humans are still selected. So if you're really interested in protein supplements and exercise and you're wanting to look at clinical trials, we now have a much shorter list we can navigate through. So we could scroll through this list, continue to screen, and see what types of items we're interested in. There might be some reporting outcomes that we're not interested in, but we can be sure that all of these are reporting something to do with protein supplements in the context of exercise. I hope this introductory tutorial has been useful, and now you should be familiar with how to use some of the basic functionality of PubMed.gov to search for relevant research articles, as well as narrow down your list of results when you get too many results. There are many other features that you can use within PubMed, but these basics are the primary ones you will need.